From the young Grizzlies star claiming that the weapon from the video wasn't real, to the league still banning him for almost half a season, Ja Morant revealed that the thing he was waving around was a toy gun. Starting with Ja's camp leaking that the gun wasn't real. That's right, apparently, after a month of silence, the young Grizzlies hooper has come forward with a ridiculous statement. To be fair, it wasn't Ja who said this, but you can't deny it. This is pretty embarrassing. Because the media's been having a field day with this rumor. Everyone's reacted to it, and after being caught waving a gun twice on social media, Morant created another scandal for himself in an attempt to make himself look less like an idiot. Basically, as mentioned, the Morant camp is claiming that the gun was a toy.
It's a toy gun, okay? I wouldn't be stupid enough to play with a real gun again.
And a relative in the back seat was the one that passed it to Ja, who then got caught on Instagram Live with it. Considering that it wasn't the player or anyone close to him that officially made the statement, why is it such a big deal? Why has the entire basketball world just jumped on this and accepted it as the truth? Well, there's a pretty good reason. Adam Silver himself let the cat out of the bag. And if the commissioner of the NBA says something about a player, there's no reason to not believe him. It happened in an interview before the 2023 NBA Finals between the Nuggets and the Heat, and a reporter asked Silver about the Ja situation.
About 2 months that Ja Morant, the star of the Memphis Grizzlies, has been seen on social media brandishing a firearm.
The commissioner said some pretty troubling things, revealing that the league had found additional information about the things Morant's been doing. Plus, he confirmed the story. According to Silver, he's been made aware of the IG Live and has been told already that the gun was fake. But that didn't make a difference. And it looks like the Grizzlies are about to lose their star point guard in a long suspension. The views on this are mixed, but if you guys are confused, don't worry because we're about to dive deep into this. Starting with the first time the young hooper got caught with a gun. It happened at the beginning of 2023, and the young 23-year-old was out partying with his buddies in some club. Now, that's perfectly fine, but the problem is, he was filmed waving a gun around and dancing. You can bet Silver had a heart attack when he saw that. Here's what you need to know. The issue isn't a legal one. It's totally okay to own a gun, but the players that sign a contract agree not to do anything that could damage the league. As you can imagine, the young Grizzlies star got a talking to from the commissioner, and it seemed like he's learned his lesson, so he got off with just an 8-game suspension. He even went to rehab and got therapy in an attempt to show the world that he's working on himself. But then it kept on happening, and all of the drama has culminated in this recent toy gun controversy. He even had a long talk with Adam Silver, where he promised not to do anything stupid like this again. Unfortunately, that's exactly what he did just a few months later when this IG Live situation happened. To be fair to the guy, he wasn't the one who went live, and he was just vibing in the front seat when the live caught just a split second of him waving a gun. This man made a promise in a meeting with the commissioner, and that was the only reason he got off with just an 8-game ban. Part of that promise was that he was going to stay away from the guy whose car he was in. Also, after that first incident, the basketball world was torn, and a bunch of big names came out in his support, which played a part in why he wasn't punished. So when he did the same thing again, not only did he stomp on Silver, but also on all of the fans and pros that defended him the first time. This is massive, because the entire point was that Ja had learned and taken responsibility. But now, after making a second mistake, claiming that the gun was a toy shows just how wrong all those supporters were about Morant, because the Grizzlies star definitely isn't taking any responsibility. And it's just like Shannon Sharpe said, all Ja needed to do was just apologize and try to make a change in his behavior. But now with this claim about the weapon having been a toy, he's showing the league how non-serious he is. Every single NBA player is an ambassador for the company. And if the company thinks your behavior is out of line and could potentially drive customers away or promote a non-ad-friendly message, well, then you're in for a tough time. On top of that, Shannon isn't the only one who pointed this out either. The inside guys went in deep on what's going on with Ja. That's right, I'm talking about Barkley and Shaq. The guys are both NBA legends who've made millions. So you better believe these guys know what they're talking about. They went in and just very simply called Ja a fool. Those are some pretty strong words, guys, but think about it. Everyone defending this man keeps talking about how what he did wasn't illegal, and Ja seems to be on that same wavelength. But Barkley and Shaq pointed out just how stupid that logic is. I mean, if you're an NBA player, you represent the entire brand, and by signing that contract, you agree to a morality clause. It's part of the contract to behave in an appropriate way. Shannon said on his show that the inside guys called Ja out for not taking responsibility. And this point is especially true after he just claimed that the gun was a toy that a relative gave him. But you've got to accept that everyone else is in the problem. And hey, if the Grizzlies star wants to keep making excuses, he's going to end up in a lot of trouble. Now, Morant was already in some big trouble before the ridiculous toy gun excuse, but now it seems like this is going to have a very real effect on his career. Just think about what Adam Silver said in an interview. Yep, the rising basketball star isn't going to get out of this on a technicality, and when Silver mentioned that he had been told that the gun was a fake, he genuinely just looked disappointed. The NBA's issue is gun safety, and Silver's point is that even if the gun wasn't real, Ja still promoted to his many young fans a very reckless image of himself. 'Cause you gotta remember, fans look up to the guy. This is exactly why this whole thing was such a big deal in the first place, and now Morant's sponsors and the entire league are worried. Just take a look at how much he's already missed out on because of all of this. He was snubbed from the All-NBA teams of 2023 despite having some of the best numbers in the entire league, and not only that, but his contract didn't reach Supermax status and he lost out on $39 million. Plus, he lost nearly another $1 million in salary from those 8 games where he was benched. The worst of all, though, is what could potentially happen with his Nike sponsorship. Ja's on the verge of a new deal with Nike, and this deal could set his family up for life. But now after this whole toy gun incident, everyone's doubting this man's commitment to behaving properly. Yup, it's possible that Morant's about to lose out on the deal of a lifetime because of this. But even this isn't the end of it all, because Ja's still getting a half-season-long suspension. Ja behaved in a way that the NBA brand hates, and he made promises that he broke. Plus, he made the ridiculous excuse to destroy his credibility. At first, it was looking like he was going to have to sit out the entire season, and the way Adam was talking, it looked like a real possibility. Luckily for the Hooper, though, it looks like the Grizzlies may have come through for him, because Ja's getting off with a 25-game suspension. Now, this is still huge. So, even though the guy's not going to be inactive for an entire year, his career's still going to take a massive hit. You can bet he's going to be losing out on tens of millions. He might lose that Nike deal, and he's definitely not making the 2024 All-NBA teams. Well, there you have it. From the league banning him for almost half a season, to the Grizzlies star claiming that the weapon from the video was a fake. This was everything surrounding Ja Morant's crazy reveal about how the gun he was holding was a toy.